Wow, guys, Jessica Tarlov just got destroyed by the entire cast of The Five when she said one thing defending Gavin Newsom, especially by Judge Janine. You guys gotta check this out. Hit the subscribe button, check out his channel in the description. Let's get right to it.
In California is far from over. LA firefighters continue to be on high alert as extreme winds threaten to turbocharge the monstrous wildfires that have already killed 24 people. And as brave firefighters battle to put out those flames, desperate Gavin Newsom is busy picking a fight with Elon Musk. He's posted twice on social media about the world's richest man, accusing the billionaire of spreading, quote, lies about the state's response. He also says that Musk is, quote, encouraging looting. But California voters are tired of Greasy's failed leadership. Newsom is facing a growing recall attempt to knock him out of office. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is also facing a recall effort. She just got asked by a reporter if she regrets her trip overseas to Africa. Watch this.
Looking back, would you have taken that trip overseas?
You know, I am going to focus today
But please,
on what we know.
Come on, man. It's obvious that these people in charge in California are only caring about their looks and their image. They don't want to do anything to help the communities, you know? She's
Hey,
asked, do you regret taking that trip? And she obviously doesn't care what people are saying.
looks like an African. I'm black. I can say that.
Yeah. But this is one of those things where it's an obvious answer. Cut off all the funding for the sanctuary cities, and maybe we could put this fire out. You know, it's just a start. I'm not a president, but that's just a start. And we
I
can see,
seen a clip where Newsom was bragging about taking the water from the Santa Fe reservoir.
yeah.
Maybe 4 years ago or something. He was bragging about it because he thought he was
He thought he was doing
saving
something.
some money or something. I don't know what this fool thought, man. Gavin Newsom. I think he's a vampire.
He doesn't care about people, bro. That type of person. It just irks my soul because it's so obvious. How could you elect someone in there like? How could someone get in office like that just doesn't care?
But he definitely dropped the ball this time.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Let's keep going, man. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. This
Bart.
this is one of those ones. Let's keep going.
All right. What do you think of that, Dana?
A couple things. Well, I was saying, why doesn't she just say no?
Yeah.
Because what I didn't know, I think I read this yesterday. When she was running for office, she said, I will never
not
go
leave.
on a foreign trip. And she's been on 4 Los Angeles taxpayer dollar foreign trips since she's been in office, which hasn't really been that long. So that was dumb. And all mayors should just say, I'm not going on the foreign trips. So let's just erase that. The other thing is they're talking about Republicans being political. In the middle of these fires on Sunday night, the California legislatures and Gavin Newsom announced they had struck a $50 million deal on the plan to Trump-proof California so that they could make sure that illegal immigrants could be represented by lawyers in the government to help avoid deportation. The other thing is Newsom also said,
So let's just put it in perspective, man. You know, it's a war going on in centuries like just
Syria.
far away.
Right, Syria,
right?
Ukraine.
Yeah, far away. And we're sending money over there. Now we have people over here losing their homes, their cars, their jobs, their
Everything.
schools, everything, you know, belongings, you know. Then you have to really think about it. How can we put illegals first before those people that lost everything?
These Democrats still care so much about your rainbow flag and immigrants being able to freely get tariffs from this country, man. It's like, who are you working for?
Exactly.
Us or Ukraine?
Exactly.
Or El Salvador. There's so many El Salvadorians. I mean, I love Latin people, but you know my position on this. I support Trumpito.
Yeah. And he's one of
That
those
part.
people that will put America first, you know. It's a huge mandate for change, guys. We went out and we voted, and this is a time where we're about to see a massive change in 6 days, you know. January 20th, Monday is right around the corner. You
That
know, these
part.
weeks are going by fast in January. We're already 2 weeks in, you know. Make sure you guys are checking out his channel. Let's keep going.
that pointing out California's soft on crime laws is encouraging looting. Well, guess what actually encouraged looting? The soft on
The
crime
laws.
laws. That's what happened. That
Facts.
only just recently changed in the last election.
You know, what Dana refers to, Jesse, is the fact that Proposition 47 that reduced sentences and also reduced the felonies to a misdemeanor were at the behest of Governor Gavin Newsom. He was into reducing crime, decriminalizing, and he didn't support Proposition 36 that just got passed when California supported it, raising and increasing sentences for drugs and theft. Basically, he was supporting repeat offenders continuing to loot with no real consequence.
So I guess you can loot from someone's burned out home less than $1,000, and that's okay.
Yeah.
With Gavin Newsom. I think the big frustration is that you can see the United States be able to build anything, anywhere, anytime overseas, but you can't do it in California because it takes 10 years to build a reservoir in California. But if we wanted to build a reservoir in Ukraine, we could do it in 6 months because that's a matter.
This is exactly what we've been saying. You know, you're putting these people overseas above the American people. You know, you could send billions, dang near trillions over there, man, but you can't hire a bunch of people to dig a deep hole, you know, and put some water in it, or just let it rain, or
That's
just
right.
traffic something into there so where we could have a water source that could put out these fires, you know,
Crazy.
or
It's
water the
crazy.
trees, you know, because trees make water.
I
Trees
don't
make rain.
trust nothing that happens lately. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And this is done to the Democratic brand America.
Yeah.
I don't trust nothing I see, anything that they say. Now, you know, we can't promote any conspiracies on these channels.
But we do have an uncensored channel about to drop. We
Right.
don't care about nothing.
We're
We're
gonna
releasing
say
the
it
truth.
all.
Everything.
But like, you know, we did a video the other day, Mel Gibson, and he was throwing out some of his suspicions.
Hmm.
And you know, he lost everything that he owned. That's actually his house
It
that
actually
they
looks like
showed.
the exact
I
footage.
think it will, you know, what's left over from his house.
Yeah.
But like, it's so weird that all of a sudden you don't have the water.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the fire hydrants don't work.
Convenient.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those ones, man.
And
where
then the insurance doesn't cover natural disasters. You can't even get your stuff back. Man, what type of world greatest? Let's make America great again.
Yeah,
I want to
exactly.
get back to that.
Let's keep going, guys.
Let's
You
go.
guys got to see Jessica Tarlov get destroyed.
Yeah, she about to
It's
get
one of
ate.
those.
matter of life and death. But it's also a matter of life and death in California. Why isn't California on a war footing? It's the most riskiest place you could ever live. And you know better than anybody, Judge, with beauty comes great risk. You put yourself in the most beautiful part of the coastline, but you have to deal with earthquakes, wildfires, and mudslides. But the government doesn't mitigate the risk because there's this toxic brew of lawsuits and regulation and ideology and incompetence that you can just get rid of because now he's just getting rid of all the red tape to rebuild. But are we going to let him? What, are we just going to keep destroying Western civilization and then paying to rebuild it over and over again? No, there has to be strings attached to this money because we're not going to go bankrupt because California's stupid. They have lost $24 billion on the homeless, $50 billion on COVID jobless claims. They lost what? $23 billion on a train? It doesn't even go anywhere. So they completely fail every leadership test in California, from natural disasters to COVID to the riots, and we can't let it happen again.
You know, Jessica, Newsom is facing a recall, and California is not the way it used to be. We're going to see the trend change in California, such as we saw it in the last election, where it went up 6 points for Donald Trump. It went down 6 points for Kamala compared to Biden. What do you think that the chances are of a recall happening?
Well, they've already had a recall on Gavin Newsom, and he won by an even bigger margin.
Yeah, well, that was a
So-
long time ago before this disaster.
Wasn't that long ago. Listen,
It was
I
before
understand
this.
we all have pipe dreams in life.
So Jessica Tarlov, she needs to be fired.
It's
This is
her
something that we
voice.
already know. You know, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Fox in the comments is saying she needs to be fired. You know, how can you not acknowledge that this guy does not care about the city? He does not care about the state. He's a guy that puts himself first before the American people.
She's just a programmed person, man. Oh, do you
Exactly.
listen to how her cadence is?
You can tell, man. But in order to run a show like this, you
You
need to
gotta
have somebody.
subjective so you can have all
Yeah,
opinions from all
because
sides.
if a bunch of people agree, there's no conversation.
Right, I agree.
No conversation, man. Let's keep going, guys. We gotta finish this video out.
Like, California is going to go red. It's not going to happen. Gavin Newsom will remain governor.
lying
I
to
actually
me.
haven't seen that much emphasis on a Newsom recall. I think Karen Bass is in a lot more trouble than Gavin Newsom is in terms of leadership position here. In terms of the quote unquote, going after Elon Musk, this isn't just like a rando rich guy. This guy is part of the administration. I'm not going to say that he's co-president, but he runs a federal bureaucracy and is in charge of cutting $2 trillion from the budget. And he inserted himself. He went to a fire briefing to ask questions pulled off the internet from all these conspiracy theories about budgets and water levels, et cetera. I mean, there's also a story going around that the California government confiscated Starlink modems or said that the government can't work in conjunction with them. Now, to your point about that strings need to be attached to this, I have never heard from anybody who's advocating for strings to be attached to aid say this about any other natural disaster. And good on
DeSantis usually does a pretty good job.
Really? Okay. Well, things have happened other places. Like, let's talk about Louisiana. There's been $120 billion in aid spent on Louisiana in the last 2 decades. Have you ever said anything about Louisiana?
Louisiana doesn't have a history
Don't
of
try to justify
misusing
it.
funds to the level of Democrats in California.
I think we should look under the hood of Louisiana for a second. Tom Tillis, to his credit,
they haven't wasted $24 billion on a train to nowhere.
Tom Tillis, North Carolina, said we need to treat everyone the same that we treated the people of Western North Carolina.
But
Rick
at some
Scott said
point,
that as
if
well.
you are delinquent and derelict in protecting
because you
people,
want to make a partisan point, and
no,
because
I don't want to make
Trump
a partisan
hates
point.
Gavin, really?
Jessica, will you? I don't want to make a partisan point. I want to say this: if you can't protect the people of California, where you know fires are coming, where you know the fires are burning for years, and you don't even know if a reservoir is empty, you can't even get water pressure out of a fire hydrant, you can't do any forestry management, then damn, at some point you got to pay for it, not the rest of us.
Okay, what about when the grid froze in Texas in 2021? Something that they've been.
Man, Jessica's one of those people that he always claims that it's 1v4. Everybody's against her. It's 1v4 every time, until she gets hit with facts and she can't say anything but just sit there and listen. This woman, Judge Janine, she has age, she has numbers on her, and she has knowledge. She's unbiased and she's hardcore and she's very blunt.
I like her.
She's always gonna hit you with facts, guys.
Jessica's annoying. Her voice is annoying to me.
It's hard for me to watch her, guys, but I know you guys love to see stuff like this. I know you guys love to see facts. I know you guys love to see our input on these type of topics.
Yeah.
There's more on his channel. You guys want to check that out?
Check me out.
It's in the description.
Let me know what you think in the comments.
We out.
Peace.